Thanks, Tom. Thank you guys for being here. We're excited about hosting Rice this week. 2 o'clock at home. They're having a good season, and they do a good job there. They got some really good players, and we are feel like our program is getting better every week. While we are disappointed we didn't win the Memphis game, we are encouraged by how we competed and played. So if you look at the season, you see us getting better every week, and feel like good foundations being laid, and we expect to play well on Saturday.
Coach, obviously Saturday is senior day. A lot of these guys you coached in high school, and obviously some you inherited when you took over the program. Will you just talk about relationships with some of those guys and what it means for them to play their final game here?
Well, it is senior day, and senior days are mixed emotions. You're happy because guys are graduating and they're moving on with their lives, and they've taken a big step in their development as human beings, and but they're also sad days because you realize that all those things I just said are happening, and you're not going to have a chance to be in their lives on a daily basis like you are when you coach them. But it's I would describe it to you this way: it's a little bit like when your children grow up and they move on. You're happy they grow up and they're healthy and well and doing well, but there's a sense of sadness there too. And I just love the kids that play for us, all of them. And so it will be an emotional day on Saturday, and I hope not too emotional because we have a game to play, but it will be.
Coach, you wanted to build the offense when you got here around the run, and you've been taking strides in the right direction each week, 223 yards on the ground this past Saturday. Is this the style or identity you want to see going forward and continually for this football team?
Well, I think it's important to be able to run the football. We've said that from the very beginning. It's been a process, but building anything that's going to last, anything that's good, usually takes time. And there are heartaches and bumps along the way, but it is the kind of style that Mike and I offensively want to play. We want to be able to run the football, and then because when you run the football, you have pretty good days throwing it too, and but for the interceptions, we had a really good day offensively.
Coach, you mentioned the other day that you view this team as ahead of schedule. I think from our perspective on the outside, we can see from our perspective why. But as a head coach, what are you seeing in game, in practice, in this building that tells you that?
They just keep working hard, and they're coming together as people. They're starting to understand the requirements and standards that we want from them, and they're getting confidence, and it's really nice to see them play that way. And and it's with all the players, which is really rewarding. It's whether you're a guy that transferred from a big school or whether you're a walk-on. I mean, guys are really playing well, and we're very pleased with that. So we do feel good about things.
This is actually for all three of you. Coach Poggi, you just touched on the emotion aspect of senior day, and you hope it's not too emotional. So how do you oversee keeping the emotion in check and maybe even channeling that into the play overall, and then for the coordinators as well? How do you guys relay that message to your guys?
Good, Oz.
Yeah, I mean, it's an event in the game, but the most important thing on Saturday at 2 p.m. is the game. So our focus is beating Rice. We appreciate the guys that have given a lot to this program that we inherited, and the guys we brought in, we appreciate their work ethic, but I think every guy in that locker room would tell you the focus of the game is winning the game and not so much being honored for being a senior and this being the last one. It's the next game on the schedule, and we got to win it, so that's the focus.
Yep, same. I mean, it's the most important game of the season because it's the next one, and that's the focus of the game. And appreciate the guys. You know, some of them we inherited, and some of them we brought in, and all they've done is kept believing and kept working and showing up. We appreciate it, but they'll tell you that the focus is to win the game.
It's a little different for me. I do view it, maybe it's because I'm a little older. I'm playing the back nine, well into the back nine. I do consider those relationships, and just brings me. I guess there are emotions that run through there. Having raised my own children, and then having coached guys where you've had older guys move on. It's just it will be a joyful day, but it will be a sad day for me too. Like last night, I got a text from a guy that played for us at Michigan. He's a graduate, and he just sent me a text that, hey, I was just thinking about you and checking in. And I think we'll have the same kind of relationships with these young guys that are moving on. And but it's just nice when you see somebody every day, right? As opposed to when you don't. So I'm a softie on that, but.
Going off the next question a little bit for Coach, you mentioned how the players have bought in, they're playing really well. What was the message to the team after, or when you were able to address them after that game?
After the Memphis game?
Yeah.
That I was proud of them, that I was disappointed we did not win, like I know they were, and that one of the next things we have to learn is how to finish games.
And this is for the two coordinators. Now that you've had time, look over the film, review that game, what did you see from each of your respective groups, and how do you guys build on that? Obviously, 2 games left.
Yeah, five penalties really cost us. We had 7 plays of 15 plus or more in the past game. 3 of those plays amounted for 20, 37, and 45 yards. Against an explosive offense like Memphis, that stuff can't happen. So we got to clean that up. We started yesterday with that, and you'll see a tighter coverage on Saturday.
Yeah, it came down to a few critical situations in the game that we talked about as an offense. We got to make those plays if we want to win games. The 4 turnovers are egregious. The interceptions, we got to get those fixed. And then, the sacks is a culmination of everybody on the offensive unit. There was 2 of them. They were both critical. And it's every position group is involved in those. And so continuing to detail, the fundamentals and the technique of pass protection and routes and, the bright things, the bright spots we saw, it's the last 2 games we've scored 71 points, in the first 8 games we scored 118 points. So every week, specifically the last couple weeks, we've really turned and seen progress. And I'm very, excited to see that. But at the end of the day, we got to win games. Got to find ways to win games. And like Coach said, you want to build something that lasts, have sustained success, not be a flash in the pan. It does take time. And but it is good to see the guys believe and see it to come to fruition and chin down, eyes up, keep swinging.
Another question for Coach Miller. Jairus had a big week 2 weeks ago, Jack too, and then Colin Weber has a big week this week. Is it rewarding to see the pass catchers gaining more confidence and being more comfortable in this offense as we go week by week?
Absolutely. And, like we said, it starts with running the football. I mean, I think what you saw on Saturday is who we want to be, 12, 13. I mean, it's, they're out there and as if we're in 11 personnel. And most defenses will do that in this conference. That's how we believe is a competitive advantage for us, that tight end room. And so that's, a challenge to the receivers too. Like, hey, it's block first. And then, the ball is going to find effort. And that's what we keep preaching all week. The ball finds effort. The ball finds effort. And it's what do you do when you don't touch the ball, the no-touch tape? How are you running receivers or how are you running DBs off? How are you blocking with the correct hat placement, hand placement, and the tight ends? I mean, just done a great job for us all year. So I love being able to feed those guys, and they make explosive plays. And that's been huge for us to be able to generate those explosive plays. We had 11 last game versus Memphis, which was our most, and those lead to points. And yeah, absolutely, very very proud of that group and those guys.
And then for Coach Poggi and Coach Miller, obviously Jalen played a couple series last game. Coach Poggi said struggling with injury. What is kind of the status of that room as far as who will take the opening snap and the majority of the snaps moving forward?
Well, people are doing pretty well physically, day by day, and a game time decision on pretty much all of our guys except the obvious. The spirit in the room, Mike runs the room, but I'll just tell you because I bop in and out of there. It's really interesting. I've said this before, but Ivy and Jones are like best friends on the team. I mean, they're praying together before the games. It's amazing. I mean, it's really a nice thing to see. And so that room is, I think, in pretty good spirits, right?
Yeah. Okay, they know, like, competitive part of it that brings the best out in both of them. And they're both each other's advocate. Whoever runs out there, they're ready to go. And the other guy that's watching, he's supporting them. He's taking mental reps. And they'll both be ready to go. I'm very proud of both of them, how they've handled it. It's not easy to do. Quarterback, there's only one that goes out there. And it's, kind of a picture of our team, if you will, just the mindset of out of yourself into the team. And proud of them for doing that.
For Coach Osborne, Dante Balfour had 4 PBUs, tying a school record. He missed a game a few weeks back. Can you just talk about how different it is with him out there and then with him not out there?
Yeah, Donnie's a big-time player. Obviously, we got him from UNC. I'm not really sure why they let him leave, but we're happy they did. And, it just shows – I think this will be a little bit of a long-winded rant, but I think what's important is you get a guy like Donnie, right? And there's plenty of guys in the country now that are at Power 5 schools that aren't playing. 704, man, we're here. Okay, we're here. Charlotte, we're here. And we'll take you and we'll play you. Okay, and we will get the best out of you. We'll put you in a position to be successful. And you look at Donnie, you look at Nakai, Demetrius Knight. Demetrius Knight played nothing at Georgia Tech. He comes here. He's such an impactful player for us. Nakai has his things at Michigan. He comes here. He's an impactful player for us. So I think it just shows sort of the landscape of college football. But a kid like that comes here. He does everything right. Rod does a great job with him. He competes. Biff talked about that. I mean, he just competes really hard. All of our guys do, and that's why we're seeing the success. Maybe not in the wins and losses in the win column, but we're seeing success on play in and play out from guys like that. And we get more guys like that in this building. This place has a really, really good chance to be something, and I think we all know that. And but yeah, Donnie's done a great job.
Nick, you wait for the microphone. Thank you.
Questions for Mike. Obviously, the last 2 games seem to be, from the outside, your best offensive performances. What do you think kind of got things going, and how do you build off of it for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I know this may not be the answer you're looking for, but we've stuck to our process, and we have continued to preach to the kids the same messaging, and the Monday through Friday, right? We tell them you can't get the Saturday night swagger and shine without the Monday through Friday grind, and say it every Monday. And eventually it clicks. It works because it's true. What you do Monday through Friday shows up on Saturday. And every week we've gotten better. I told Coach yesterday, man, the practices right now that we're having on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, our whole staff sees it. We're like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like, And so that's why we're so excited, because we know what's going to happen here, and we know we're doing it the right way. And then it's built to last. And, the kids have done a great job. They're working. They roll their sleeves up, and they know time to go to work Monday through Friday. And it's going to be hard. We're going to stress you, and we're going to put a lot on your plate so that Saturday you go out and play and compete. You don't have to think. You play, you compete, have fun. The fun's in the winning. The grind's Monday through Friday. So they've done a great job. Very proud of them, and going to keep on heading in that direction.
Do we have any other questions, Mr. Smartbank?
Coach Poggi, Coach Osborne just kind of put out the bat signal for the 704. If you want to come play, we're here for you. Are you worried, and are there rumblings or concerns that your program may be poached when it comes to the portal and teams having interest in some of your guys to try to take them away? And how do you convince your guys that this is the place to be?
Well, we obviously won't keep everybody, right? It's just in today's game, the way college sports are structured now. Kids are going to leave, and there'll be kids that will leave that we wish didn't, and I just think that's a fact of life. And we'll counsel guys to to stay, but I would assume that people will. They'll come looking because we've got a number of guys that have played really well, and it's just part of the landscape now. Not happy about it, but part of it.
And this for both the coordinators. Obviously, Rice coming to town this Saturday. This is one of their best seasons the past few years. What have you seen from each side of the ball, respectively, and what do you expect from them Saturday?
Yeah, Coach Bloomgren, Coach Tuiasa Sopo, they do a really good job offensively. I mean, JT Daniels, Connors, McNeil, number 80, and obviously McCaffrey. Really, really, really explosive. I mean, they do. I mean, it's been sort of up and down for them a little bit. They just do a good job putting you in positions and putting stress on under coverage, which the last week, at least in the Memphis game, we struggled a little bit with, and we got to tighten that up. But they just do a really good job. JT Daniels, when he's out there, knows exactly where to go with the ball. I mean, he's played a lot of places. He's played a lot of football, and smart. And I think they don't have the most explosive guys. I think Connors is their most explosive guy coming out of the backfield. Obviously, he's a problem. But McCaffrey and McNeil, I mean, they just do a great job of making contested catches. I mean, there are people just all over them, and they just still come up with the ball. And that's a testament to those guys and what they can do. And tight end room's pretty good as well. And their offensive line has had some ups and downs. They've had a little bit of struggle. But the ball comes out so fast with JT, it doesn't really matter how long protection goes because the ball comes out so fast. So we got to do a great job of giving JT a bunch of different looks. I know he didn't practice yesterday based on what Mike said, but he'll play. He'll be the guy on Saturday. So, we're preparing for him, and their offense didn't really change when 12 went in the game anyway. So, we're ready to go.
Yeah, defensively, Brian Smith's defensive coordinator, he's been there with Mike the whole time. Got a tremendous amount of respect for Mike. His time at Stanford and success he's had at other places. And, they do a good job defensively. They're sound. They present you multiple fronts throughout the game. They do a good job with number 41, Wyatt. You'll see him. He lines up all over the place. He'll line up in the boundary to the field. He'll line up as a safety, as a star, and trying to get him involved. He's leading their team in tackles with 66 total, so he's all over the place. And then they have a edge rusher, number 12, Josh Percy. He's doing a great job for them. He's disruptive. And they move him around too. He'll line up in the boundary and the field. So they do a good job trying to give you multiple looks. But, we're, as always, it's about us. It ain't about them. Playing to our standard and coming out and play winning, efficient football. We'll be ready to roll.
And then a quick follow-up for Coach Osborne. Obviously, McCaffrey's having a good season. I'm curious more about Connors, number 0, coming out of the backfield. Do you feel like that kind of plays to your strength, knowing their number 2 receiver is going to be in the teeth of your defense with Nakai, Demetrius, folks like that at linebacker?
Yeah, I mean, but they do a great job with our choice routes. They do a great job of empty reloads, starting off in a line empty, reloading them in, bolting them out. They find a way to create mismatches with him. But, I would say with D. Knight, with Nakai, and anyone that has to handle the back out of the backfield, be it 2x2, 3x1, whatever the formation distribution is, it will be good if it's a down safety that might have to cover him if he's playing curl flat or something like that. I mean, I think our scheme does a good enough job to handle those situations and to be able to handle 5 out, which not a lot of teams can do. You look at a lot of defenses, and that's where teams are getting killed. They just don't account for the back, which is the craziest thing. But whatever. So I just know this: if Mike is watching, we are going to account for Connors. So keep him in protection. Thanks.
This will be his last appearance at the.
Miss 25 minutes of install.
Do you have any other questions for these folks?
No, I do. I have fun.
Just want to ask about injuries. Hassan Wilson obviously got a lot of time with some key running backs out, but just overall injury status for the team.
We're in good shape. We are in good shape. So, which would be nice, right? It'd be nice to have that finally. But old Hassan had 24, 25 carries, and he looked fresh as a daisy this morning when I saw him. So, we're happy to see that.
Yeah, Tom, we want to talk to Hassan.
Okay. I'll see if I can get that done.
You want to talk to Hassan? Okay. I don't blame you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.